All right, guys, welcome to the first video. This is a recap of the first class that I had, which basically I go into the setup and creation of a Facebook campaign. I just want to, basically brief you guys through the entire process. Now, in the second video, so the entire process for setting up a Facebook ad, but in the second video, which is also provided in an email, you will find a link in that, or you will find in that video where I go about creating a whole Facebook page, a Facebook fan page, as well as creating the Facebook ad page and how to set all of that information up. But in this particular video, I'm not necessarily going to go through that. I'm just going to go about creating an app or creating an ad as though I'm already signed in. So I'm just going to sign in with my account. Go into the section, the Business Manager. And from the Business Manager, we're going to Ads Manager. And from Ads Manager, we're going to create a new set of campaigns. So for the purposes of teaching you guys, I'm just going to remove these so we can start fresh, and then you can see how exactly everything is created. So in order to begin the creation of your ad, you're going to want to click on this green Create button. Click on that. Now you will be taken to this marketing objective page, and the marketing objective here that we're considering working with at first is going to be the engagement piece. Afterwards, we will duplicate this particular engagement post, or PPE, which is the paid post engagement, and then we will convert it into a conversion ad. So I'm going to walk you guys through the entire process of creating both of these, and also the reason why I go about creating a engagement ad and then converting it over into a conversions ad. Now, you guys may be curious about this particular section. So as every column explains, this is for awareness, this is for consideration, and this is for conversions. So here, you're basically trying to bring awareness to your brand. I'll explain this particular one. So even though it says traffic, it can be a little bit misleading. So Facebook will not necessarily optimize for quality traffic. That means people who are going to click the desired objective that you have in mind to convert and to become customers. All this means is that Facebook will feed your ad to people who have been want or are more likely to just click on links, but not necessarily optimizing for those that are going to click on the add to cart, view content, initiate checkout, or even follow the process of all the way down to making a purchase. Engagement, as the name suggests, this is all about engagement. So engagement pieces mean the likes of this particular post, the shares, the comments, and also the video or the views. So a good example would be, let's go here to Google. Okay, Facebook post. Let's just go here to images, just so I could let you understand what exactly it is that I'm referring to. So let's go here. I see the markers here. So as you can see, all these are 1,035 likes, 38 comments, 2,729 shares, and 100,000 over 100,000 views. So these are all engagement metrics. So now when you click on this engagement piece, that's basically what it's working on. App installs, as the name suggests, this is all about getting people to install your app, optimizing for people that will view your video, optimizing for lead generation, optimizing for people to engage with your post via messages. Now here, when it comes to conversions, this is the real hallmark of Facebook. Essentially, this is where you're going to work on having customers take the desired actions that will lead them down your sales funnel. So that being said, that means you want to, once they click on the ad, you want to take them from the the view content, which is going to be on your product page, and you want to lead them down to add to cart, and then from that point on, you want them to take the next action, which is going to be initiate checkout, and after that, the final action, which is going to be making a purchase. So that's what this particular conversion section has to do with. Catalog sales, as the name again suggests, is honestly something that I do not use, but it says create ads to automatically show items from your catalog based on your target audience. And store visits, this is basically for people to walk into your store. So if you have a restaurant, if you have a regular brick and mortar, this is what you're essentially seeking to convert for, right? Or this is what Facebook will help you convert for. So we're going to start off with the engagement piece. All right, now let me just explain these three. So we're concerning ourselves with post engagement, but page likes, as the name suggests, again, for your Facebook business page, this would be all about generating likes or optimizing for generating more likes on your Facebook page. So a good example would be, let's see here, let's get into Facebook. Prowess Apparel. So this would be the section of Facebook likes right here. All right, now event responses, of course, refers to if you're optimizing for an event or you're putting out an event that you want people to attend to. So you would choose this particular tab and have Facebook optimize, or basically go out there and find more people to attend your event. We're going to concern ourselves with post engagement because via this particular section, we're going to gather what they call social proof. So we'll tell the test engagement, click continue. Now, when it comes to Facebook, as a matter of fact, I just dropped down from that section. I'll start from the top. All right, so this section right here is more of an advanced feature, which I will not go through in this particular video, but I'll just explain it to you for those of you that are curious. Once you have gathered enough data on your Facebook pixel, and I just want to hint again that I go over that in a second video. So if you are interested in finding out the way to set up your Facebook pixel and how to add it to your e-commerce store, please again check the second video. But once you've gathered enough data via your Facebook pixel, which is a widget that connects your store to Facebook and gathers gathers data on specific actions that customers take on your store or potential customers take on your store. Once Facebook has gathered enough of that data, you can create now what they call a custom audience of any one of those particular data metrics. So again, say for example, you had 2,000 people who viewed your content, again, meaning they went onto your product page within the past 10 days, 15 days, 30 days, 180 days. You can now tell Facebook to gather the information from all of those 2,000 people and create a custom audience out of that. Now, what you can do with this particular custom audience, of course, is that you can retarget them and with new ads or with what they call dynamic ads. And also, number two, you can create what they call a lookalike audience out of your custom audience. So a custom audience, a lookalike audience means that Facebook will take this audience, which is your custom audience, and utilize it as a seed audience, and then create a replication of individuals that look similar to this particular seed audience. So again, using the example, if it's 2,000 people that took or viewed content on your particular store, they viewed the product page on your store, Facebook will now utilize that those 2,000 individuals and will create a lookalike audience of people that have taken that same action of viewing the content on your product page, and will now create a lookalike audience out of a particular out of a population or a percentage of a population out of any given country it is that you want to target with your specific ad. So again, that's really the basics. The rest I really don't want to explain because you would have to see the back end in order to really understand it. Locations, so as the name suggests, everyone in this particular location, so it's referring to the US, but we are initially, at least not with the engagement piece, we will initially not target the U.S. The reason being, it's very costly to advertise within the U.S. itself, and it's actually a lot cheaper to advertise within third world countries. Now, the reason why I'm going for cheaper clicks is a strategy so that I can build up my social proof on any given post. So the countries that I usually target are India and the Philippines. All right. So these two particular countries will give you an ad once Facebook starts optimizing an ad cost of less than a penny. So I've had ad costs cost me anywhere from 0.003 cents all the way down to 0.001 cent. So that's how cheap it is, and as a result of that, the cheaper it is for me to gather metrics, the more metrics and the more data and the more Facebook post engagements I can get. Now the age range, given any particular given what product it may be, now the age range given what product it may be, I always start between 21 to 65. 21 is my threshold. I do not go any lower than that. The reason being, again, if you're 18 years old, more often than not necessarily in all cases, but more often than not, you do not have the discretionary income to make the purchases of the items that I would suggest to my given audience. So I would usually start with the ages between 21 and 65. Now, in this particular case, we're going to target all people. This is where you can put your languages. So in other words, when I'm targeting people within the Philippines and within India, I want to target people that know how to speak English because my ad is going to be in English. Now, so I didn't mention what it is that I'm actually advertising. So I'm going to be advertising, for the lack of a better example, or I'm going to advertise. Well, not the lack of a better example. Let me rephrase that. I'm basically going to advertise some Adidas sneakers. So that being said, I just wanted to, start off with something that's branded, something that's recognizable, and then I'm basically going to show you guys the way that I create a detailed targeting audience out of that, and how I basically create a passionate audience that would be very receptive to making a purchase of my particular item, which in this case is the Superstar Adidas. So let's start with a broad list. As you can see, 130 mil. All right, so now 15 million. So that's the larger list. Now, usually I want to put this anywhere between 500,000 to maybe about like 10 million. So what I would do is some of the let me just give you guys the let's put it this way. How do I go about creating a passionate audience? Some of the metrics for creating a passionate audience are to also find areas where people already are already making purchases as it relates to this particular industry. So some of the areas that you may want to target would be magazines, celebrities, right? TV shows, websites, that they attend or that they have to pay a subscription in. I mean, basically the list kind of goes on and on, but what you want to create essentially is a passionate audience of individuals that when they see your particular ad, they are going to be very receptive. So in our case, let's also use Run DMC. All right, Run DMC. Now the reason why I'm using Run DMC, if you're very familiar with Run DMC, they had a song called My Adidas, right? So they're really all about the Adidas. So anybody who may follow them and like them may definitely also like me presenting them with the option of, choosing or buying some Superstar Adidas. All right, let's look at another one, Eastbay, which is a magazine. Eastbay, which is a sneaker magazine. Eastbay magazine. Let's see here. eSpay, there you go. There's the magazine. Now we can also go to Facebook to give us some kind of some suggestions. So we want to target now any person that goes to this particular store, the Champs store. Foot Locker, definitely. LL Cool J. Let's see. Put LL Cool J. And we also want to target online. Let's see, online people who are interested in online shopping. And let's look for engaged shoppers. Now, as you can see, this list has gone ballooned all the way to 130 million. So let's now narrow the audience down. So let me put it over here, online shopping. Let's remove this. It's engaged shoppers. And let's go here to from here. All right. So this is a good enough. 15 million is still fine. So we have people who are interested in Adidas and also are engaged shoppers slash do online shopping or have an interest in doing online shopping. So now we have Facebook working on our behalf. Oftentimes, I mean, it's very debatable as far as this particular box. I do leave it unchecked in many cases because this will cause Facebook to continue growing your interest, which at the end of the day may just balloon your potential reach, but not necessarily cause Facebook to find the correct audience size or the correct target audience for you. So I leave this unchecked, right? Because again, AI has not necessarily caught up yet to what it is that people can do. In this particular case, when you leave this box checked, Facebook will find for you the correct audience. Now, Facebook will serve its own interest at the end of the day versus your interest, which is to get money. So Facebook will also eat up your money at the end of the day if you're not careful. So this is a good enough target audience. We leave this unchecked. No need to worry about this. All we're going to take care of now is we're going to edit our placements. This is where our ad is going to be displayed. All right, so we always want to so the majority of places where people look when they come on Facebook is the feed section. So this is the prime area where we will put our ads. Unless you're advertising on Instagram, no need to really check the Instagram box, unless of course you want to. If this is a particular item that you also want to advertise, like leggings, clothing, sneakers, it's really up to you guys. But for our cases, I'll leave this particular one checked. Audience network, please uncheck that. Messenger, no need. All right, so all mobile devices, 99.9% of the people that are gonna visit your visit your website via your ad will usually come from from a mobile platform. So please leave that particular section alone. And let me see here. Is there anything that was left undone? No, I think we're pretty much good. All right. I will always start off with a daily budget of 5. It is sufficient enough to be able to gather good data, and especially within a third world country, $5 is more than enough to gather engagement. So let me see here. This is fine. Let's click continue. We're going to create an ad. All right. More often than not, you will want to create a video ad. So the Facebook algorithm favors video over single images. But if this is not an option for you and you do not have any software or you're not very adept at creating videos, you may want to try out for a single image, but the next best option if you do not have this is a slideshow. This is where Facebook will literally create a video for you. So we're going to select the slideshow. Let's click here. Let's upload some photos, upload images, and let's get all these Adidas. All right, open. Now I'm not putting these in any particular order. Again, this is all for just example purposes. So I'm not necessarily, thinking of going out there and testing any of these particular products. This is just to give you a good foundation for how to create a Facebook ad. Let's go here and I'll just put some of these images on repeat. All right, that's fine. So as you can see, the picture was not sized down. There are certain specs. Let's see the original right there that you can do. So square is not good. You'll just want to stick with the original one. All right. I'll do fade so that it can fade between the images, as you can see like that. But the again, the aspect ratio, Facebook does have the measurements that are specific. So let's choose the aspect. Let the first image of your slideshow determine. Okay. Let's see. So I will leave this particular aspect ratio basically for you guys to edit it in Photoshop, and then you should be able to insert it into your video. Now with any video, especially the slideshows, you will want to add a layer of text. So red and black. Save. Cork. White and black. Save. And let's see. Red, white, red and blue. Let's click save. Now you can add music to this particular ad. Of course, if you want to continue adding more pictures, you can simply upload more pictures, put them on your Dropbox or put them on your desktop, and then simply just continue uploading them via upload images here. All right, I'm just going to continue with these instead of continuing that particular cycle. But it's simply wash, rinse, and repeat, the same process, and then just continue adding more images by clicking this plus sign right there. Let's go here to music. We want some action music. Let's see. So here's the energetic. Let's look at. All right, that's fine to me. Let's create the slideshow. And this is now where Facebook will create that slideshow for you. In the meantime, you can still continue working. Create the Shop Now button. The website URL will be google.com. And let's also go here to emojis. So you can utilize the site for emojis. Let's go into back into the ad. So write all the text with uppercase. Want to be superstar. Put the thinking face. Copy. Simply copy and paste. I could also put the star. So you could put get your free pair of Superstar Adidas today. Just pay shipping. For scarcity, limited time offer. Get yours now. Now we'll use the arrow. Let's put arrow. Right arrow. Wrong one. Let's go back. The right arrow. Copy that. So now what we do is we go to Bitly. We get a Bitly URL. Type in google.com. Shorten. There we go. Copy that. Create a Bitly version out of it. And you can duplicate that. Get yours now. The reason why I'm putting it twice, I'll explain in a second, is so that I basically increase the chances of getting a link click. So that's essentially the reason why I'm doing it. Now this particular ad looks perfect. The video, of course, I would make it a little bit longer, but for our purposes, again, you guys can go about doing that with any specific ad of your own. All right. Simply after that, they would just click Shop Now, and here is a very key area. So as you can see, my Facebook pixel has been turned off, and the reason why I'm doing that is for the reason why I made mention of earlier. So when it comes to traffic out of India and traffic out of the Philippines, it's cheap, and it's cheap for a reason. One of the reasons being is the Filipino and the Indian audience do not have the purchasing power to make purchases of items that in American dollars will cost $29, $39. So you will not get a frequency or a high frequency of people making purchases out of those particular countries. Of course, the reason being the discrepancy between the purchasing power of the American audience or the first world audience and third world audience, right? So what does that also mean for our pixel? At the end of the day, what it means is we do not want to have our pixel gather data out of those particular countries. The reason being because it will not necessarily be quality data. We want quality data, and quality data can be reaped out of a first world country. Again, the countries, the word here, me referring to first world, basically meaning that the first world has a purchasing power, which the third world countries often do not, again, because of the currency and the discrepancy between the value of both currencies. So I will keep this off because I want to make sure that my pixel, when I am ready to convert it into a conversion ad, then I would basically want to run it and turn that on with all the social proof that it's gotten from the metrics that I made mention of before, the engagement pieces, right, which will display themselves once this ad starts getting a lot of engagement. And then I will basically convert it and change that into a conversion ad where I'm going to optimize it for purchases. So I'm going to go about setting that up, but as you can see, my Facebook pixel is turned off here, and then I just click confirm. And as you can see, now this particular Facebook ad is in review. It's not live yet. It will be live within maybe about 5 to 10 minutes, and Facebook will send you an email via whatever email it is that you provided it with. This arrow right here, or this toggle button, simply allows you to turn the Facebook ad on or off, and then when it's blue, that means it's back on. All right. Now, if you want to duplicate an ad, you simply click here, duplicate. It will give you the option to duplicate it once, twice, or as many times as you want. For our purposes, I'm going to duplicate this particular ad. And now we have to imagine now that this particular ad received all the engagement, and now I want to convert it and turn it towards my American audience. So here, within the campaign details, after I click duplicate, I have the option of changing this now into a conversion ad. So all I do is I click continue. Now it's going to give me some errors right here, which I will show you how to fix. Simply click publish, and then it's going to say certain items were not published. I will go into it and make the corrections. All right, now let's close this. Close. And let's go in and see what the issue is. So let's go here. Let's edit it. Okay. Now I'm going to utilize so the error here is the video. I simply click, as it tells you here, you need your ad needs a video thumbnail. Please specify one image, etc., etc. So clear videos, select video. Use the same video. This is the post ID. Use that same video and select it. And there you go, error number 1 should be fixed. All errors have been resolved, so we can publish that. Now there's still one error that we have. Let's see here, so it's publishing it, as you can see here. It's at 75%, so I'll just wait till it gets to 100. Okay. Now let's fix the second error. Let's go here. Then this section. Okay, and okay. This was of course the problem. So the objective, we did not choose an objective. So this is my pixel. I am optimizing for the objective of purchases. So now you can see when it comes to conversions how many objectives there are. So the view content again means that people are going onto my product page, all right, where I essentially want to convert them from. You could either optimize for view content search, add to cart is when they're adding it to a cart, add to wish list is where they add it to a wish list, initiate checkout is where they put their information in, or they've already started the process of initiating checkout, they add their payment information, and then of course they make the purchase. So I only focus on a few metrics. The rest of these like search, add to wish list, lead, and complete registration are not important for me because at the end of the day, what I'm converting for are making sales off of my e-commerce store. So I want to focus on purchases. So there we go. So that's the reason why when it came to the conversions, you saw this. When I duplicated the ad and changed it into a conversion ad, that's the reason why you saw the error, because we did not determine our conversion objective, which is what you will do in the ad set level. All right, now I might want to explain, just in case you guys are curious, why this particular one is red. That means that this ad or this particular objective, this pixel more specifically, is not in use. Do not worry about that. In the second video, again, I go about showing you guys exactly how to attach the Facebook pixel to your online store. Once that is updated and set up, this particular button right here, instead of showing red, it will show green. All right, so we're going to keep everything the same. Then I worry about an end date, just running it continually. And then now we're going to change it from India and the Philippines, and now put it towards whatever given state within the U.S., however it is that you guys want to target. Again, if you guys have done your research and you know exactly where hip-hop heads or people who love sneakerheads, California being one of them, where Brooklyn being another one, where they reside, then of course you could also be as granular as Brooklyn, New York. All right, and you could basically optimize for that. You can change the radius, which is the radius from here. You change it all the way to 50 miles. It'll give you a bigger, so it's 50 miles every way from the Brooklyn, New York area. All right, so you can be as granular as that. As you can see, the potential reach is 2.2 million. I'll leave it as such. Sneakers tend to reside in Brooklyn, and also put California. All right, so we'll target the entire state. All right. Again, the rest of it is basically the same. Placement, everything else is going to be the same. And here is a, so we've optimized for conversions. Now here is where you can determine what the conversion window is. So usually a one-day click tends to be set for an impulsive buy, one-day click or view. So in other words, any product that's $50 and under, But once your products are like $100 and over, people usually have to take a lot of time to really consider whether they're going to make that particular purchase. So if you have a product that you're selling that's over $100, you're going to want to optimize for a 7-day click or 1-day view, right? Or excuse me, 7 days click or a 1-day click, either one. Well, excuse me, 7 days click. But if it's a impulsive buy, something that's $50 and under, you can optimize for a 1-day click. Now, what Facebook does do is I will leave it at this. The reason why, because your cost per click will be substantially lower once you do it optimize for this particular option, this particular conversion window. Afterwards, click publish. As you can see, it's uploading here. And there you go. You could simply click close after that. Go back to the campaign section. And as you can see, both of these ads are in review. Once they show active, which you will get an email from Facebook to let you know that these particular ads were approved and are active. Now you will have a full running campaign. I'm just going to turn these off because I don't want Facebook charging me for these. As you can see now, it shows inactive. So that's pretty much a recap of how to make a Facebook video, or how to make a Facebook ad. If you guys want to consult me for any particular campaigns that you may be running, please reach out to me. I am available for free consultation, so at least 30-minute free consultation. But again, I really hope that this information was helpful, and I definitely look forward to seeing you guys at the next class. All right, thank you. Take care.